Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. That empty space that you see there is my bin of 5-inch squares and 10-inch squares that are leftovers, or I cut them myself from scraps. What I'm looking for today is 16 dark of one shade and 2 light of one shade in 10-inch squares. I have a bunch of this dark blue print. I'm pretty sure that's enough for my 16 that I want. And I was able to find 2 light blue background prints. In addition to the 16 dark blue and the 2 light blue, I'm going to need 18 background fabric, and here I'm using white 10-inch squares. On one side of each white square, I'm going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner both ways to make an X shape. What I'm going to be doing is what we call 8 at a time half square triangles. I'll be placing the white fabric right sides together with the dark blue and the light blue print fabrics. I will stitch around both sides of each line about 1/4 inch away from the line. Let's take a look at how this square looks now that I've stitched all 4 seams. I wanted to take a minute to show you my needle setup here. I don't know why I didn't think about this before the last 2 quilts I've made, but this is going to make things a lot easier for me in future. I can aim my line right for the middle of this foot, and I've got my needle all the way over to the right to get that 1/4 inch seam. I went ahead and chain pieced for the rest of these blocks that I'm making. And here's what all my squares look like. They're a little bumpy, so I don't want to cut them yet. I'm going to go ahead and press them nice and flat before I do the cutting. Now it's time to cut these squares apart into their half square triangle pieces. The first thing we're going to do is cut a vertical and horizontal seam 5 inches in from the side. Next, we're going to cut the diagonal lines that I drew. We're going to cut right on those diagonal lines. Now from our 2 10-inch squares, we have 8 half square triangles. And since those were made with a 5-inch square, they should trim down to 4.5 inches square. I don't always use a rotating cutting mat, but this 8 at a time half square triangle method is the perfect time if you have a rotating mat to use it. I've got a lot of different rulers, probably more than I need, but I just wanted to show you some of the rulers that you can use to trim up half square triangles. This Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer, the one that has the 1/2 inch marks on it, is the one I'm using for this first square. I'm going to line up the dotted line for 4.5 inches with my seam line. The top edge in this video that you see is already straight with the ruler, so I only have to trim this one side here, and then I will trim in those slots to get rid of my dog ears. Now this half square triangle block is ready to go. All I need to do is press it open to the dark side and it'll be ready to put into my project. You can also use a regular ruler to get the same result if it's got a diagonal line. So I'm lining up my diagonal line on this ruler with my seam line. If my sides are nice and straight, I only have to trim one side, and then after I cut that one side, I can manually cut off my dog ears. I don't mind using these tools for just a few half square triangles, but I have 144 half square triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and press all these open to the dark side and trim after I press them. This is my preferred way when I have a lot to do. It's just easier for my brain. But before I show you my preferred way, I am going to show you this other tool I have, the Bloc-Loc Ruler. This one, you keep the lighter shade on the Bloc-Loc logo, and then it has a wedge or a lip under there, and that will hold your block steady while you trim the two sides. I've placed my half square triangle on the cutting mat, and I've got the lighter side with the Bloc-Loc logo. Then I can line this up, making sure it's overlapping the 4.5 inch block. I can trim the two sides. Then I just slide that Bloc-Loc ruler the opposite way, line it up at the 4.5 inch line, and I can trim the other two sides. Let me go ahead and show you my favorite way of trimming up a big lot of half square triangles. I'm taking my square ruler with the diagonal line lined up with my seam line, making sure that two sides either overlap or are even with the 4.5 inch lines. If they're even, I only need to trim two sides. On this third one, I did have to trim all four sides, but for the most part, my half square triangles in this batch were pretty well done, so I only had to trim two sides, probably on about 2/3 of these. Stitching and trimming this many half square triangles does take a long time, but once you get done, the rest of the quilt is going to go together much more quickly. Let me show you the layout that I'll be doing, and then I'll also be showing you some computer screens of other layouts and a different color scheme too. I'm going to have a total of 16 blocks. So I only have one pile with that light blue because I only had 2 blue 10-inch squares with 8 half square triangles each, so 16. The dark blue half square triangles have 16 in each stack. You can draw this out on sticky notes and get the same result I'm getting, but my computer program Electric Quilt 8 makes it easier. You can see I've got my one stack with the light blue plugged in, and I've got all the triangles pointing the same way with that top right pointing the opposite way. Now here is how I plan to do it if I was going to use sashing. And I wanted to flip the colors to the red and yellow just so you can get an idea of how this would look in a different colorway. And I'm flipping this around here with different directions for these quilt blocks, and this has sashing. Feel free to pause the screen at any time and take a screenshot if you see something that really appeals to you. I decided that I really didn't want to do sashing on this particular quilt. Here is the plan that I'm going to do, but I will click around on the screen a little bit just so you can see some other options without the sashing. Now it's time to assemble the blocks, now that I've decided on how I'm going to lay the block out and then how I'm going to assemble the quilt. Now you could put the block together first and then move things around and decide on a layout. I'm going to start with the top 2 squares on the left and just chain piece the whole stack of 16. Then I'm going to go to the second stack on the left, the middle row, and chain piece those together, and then the third row, those left 2 squares, chain piece those. That little piece of pink you saw me put through the sewing machine first is called a leader, and that will keep my first square from getting sucked down in between the feed dogs. Once I got through that first round of chain piecing, I broke the chain and I put the 16 pieces for each row back where I got them. And now I can just add on the third piece for each of these rows. And I'm verifying that all my blue triangles go the same direction, except for the one triangle in the lower right. Now it's time to put the rows of the block together. I'm verifying that I've got the light blue in the top left corner and making sure that middle row has the triangles all going the same direction. I'm going to go ahead and nest my seams and place a clip on there, and that'll make it easier when I take it to the sewing machine. When I'm putting these rows together, I do take my time to make sure these seams nest where they need to, and I make sure the beginning and the end of my 2 little rows here are lining up. Now, I've been quilting a long time, so I'm getting better at nesting those seams without the clips. I do like to show you that option though, because when I first started out, it probably took me about 3 years to get used to the seams nesting. With the first 2 parts of the block done, we can add that third row, and making sure that the triangle that's going the opposite way is on the right-hand side. Well, all the blocks are put together now, so I can start putting them together for the final quilt. This is going to be pretty easy to do. I'm going to put 2 blocks together so the light blue triangles match. I want them to meet in the middle. I'm going to do all the pairs the exact same way where the light blue triangles join. Next, I'm going to make the 4 quadrants of the quilt top by putting 2 pairs together with all the light blues matching in the middle. Now I just have to put the 4 quadrants together, and it doesn't matter which way they're turned because they're all going to be identical no matter which way they're turned. So it's just a matter of putting 2 quadrants together and then putting the pair of quadrants together with the other pair to finish the quilt top. I did not show it, but I did go off screen and press this quilt top nice and flat. And then the last thing I did was go around the entire outside of the quilt with this stay stitch or basting stitch or victory lap. It's called many different things. Here's a little close-up look of why you might want to consider doing a basting stitch if you're not already doing it. The seam on this particular row did not get backstitched, and it would be separating now if I had not put that stay stitch on. Here is a look at our finished quilt top today. I love a quilt that's all half square triangles just because there are so many different patterns you can do. I hope you'll leave me a comment and let me know if you've made a quilt entirely with half square triangles or if you want to now that you've seen this one. And if you've made a quilt inspired by something I've done, I would love it if you would go to the community tab on my Sunbeam Fabric Art channel page and post a picture. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.